Kong Skull Island is about King Kong. But what it's really about is a group of people who are assigned to go explore this island of Skull Island. They get into some crazy, strange, scary adventures, and there's monsters, and people die. That's what this movie's about. And before I say anything, I was excited to see this movie because of the fact that we've seen a lot of King Kong movies, and usually how they end is he's at the top of the Empire State Building, the planes shoot him down, he's dead. We knew that wasn't going to happen in this movie because of the fact that we know there's going to be a King Kong versus Godzilla movie in 2020, I believe it is. So that was really cool, just going in right away, just knowing that. Now, King Kong is the name of the movie. Kong is the name of the movie. So how awesome is King Kong? He's freaking awesome. I loved every scene that King Kong is in this movie. He is huge and he's awesome and he's amazing. Godzilla, in my review of Godzilla, I said that big thing I didn't like about the Godzilla movie was the fact that Godzilla's teased. He's never actually really shown. He's just teased. This movie, Kong is not teased. He's shown. He's doing a lot of stuff, and Kong's awesome in this movie. Uh, the movie is a monster movie, and Kong is not the only monster in this movie. There is, if you've seen the trailer, Skull Crushers, and I thought they were really, really cool looking. They were like weird, strange lizard things. I thought they were really awesome. And the fights between them look awesome. They're awesome. They're awesome. That's all I can say. These monsters are all awesome. It's just awesome. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. How many times can I say awesome, guys? So the movie itself looks beautiful, I thought. Lots of beautiful sunsets that we saw. Just loved shots when they were like in the helicopters, and they show some beautiful shots. The island as a whole, for the most part, looks fantastic. You can tell they actually went to real locations to shoot some of these things, and it looks fantastic. I love how they filmed everything in this movie as far as cinematography and how the island looks, how the mysteriousness of the island, the danger of the island is. I have to say, this movie is brutal. This movie, at times, I almost felt should have been rated R. There is some very horrible deaths that happen in this movie, and I mean, just brutal. It almost reminded me of Saw at one point, just because people's limbs and just gone, and it's brutal. For PG-13, it's brutal. So if you're thinking about bringing kids, I don't know if I can recommend bringing your kids to this one because there are some brutal deaths in there. The soundtrack for this movie is kind of fun. The first hour is really when it's used, and then it kind of just goes away. And some people are complaining that the soundtrack is too much. There's too much of these. The movie takes place in the 70s during Vietnam era, right after the end, I believe, of Vietnam War. And so a lot of that kind of music's playing. A lot of people felt that it was just jarring at the beginning, and just song after song after song after song. I personally didn't feel that way. I felt the moments that they had in there kind of worked. But if anything, just buy the soundtrack for this movie because it's a great soundtrack, great mix of music and stuff. So the score was fantastic by Henry Jackman, amazing composer that's out right now and stuff. So that definitely. Now my problems with the movie are with the people in the movie. There are really some great actors in this movie. You got Tom Hiddleston, who plays Thor in the Avengers. You got Brie Larson, who just won an Oscar, 2016 Oscars for Room. We have John Goodman. We have Samuel L. Jackson. You got John C. Reilly, Toby Kebbell. A lot of great actors in this movie. The problem is they're not given a whole heck of a lot to do, and their characters have no development at all. Brie Larson's character, she's a photographer. That's what it is. There's nothing else. It's just she's a photographer. Tom Hiddleston, he's a tracker. He's a badass. That's all we get. Toby Kebbell, he has a son. That's it. And so there's no development, and it's hard to care about any of these characters necessarily. For me, it didn't bother me too much because the movie is called Kong Skull Island. It's about Kong. You're supposed to have. It's a fun monster movie, and I had fun with it, to be perfectly honest. So it didn't bother me too much. But I can't tell you any of the characters' names. Uh, Basically, throughout the movie, I was like, oh, Tom Hiddleston's fighting that person. Brie Larson's doing that. I never actually cared about the characters. I cared more about the actors playing the characters. So that's definitely not a good thing. Uh, there is a scene with the main actors. It's kind of shown a little bit in the trailer. There's this green mist, and they're fighting monsters. It is so over the top and ridiculous, and I hated this scene. It's like a 5-10 minute scene, and it was just ridiculous. I hated it so much. It was so over the top. You got Tom Hiddleston, who we see nothing that we see a little bit of his fighting skills at the beginning of the movie, but then he's just like, throw me a sword, and all of a sudden he's grabbing a sword out of thin air and just pop, 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 and it's ridiculous, and I hated that scene. Another negative for me, uh, there is a couple really big exposition scenes that I thought were just obnoxious and annoying. And you see a little bit in the trailer once again, and it's just partially the script and the dialogue. They're just, oh my gosh. In the end, though, like I said before, it's a monster movie. People, monsters fighting, so it worked for me. The other big negative I had with this movie is the fact that you can tell that they are standing in front of green screens quite a bit in this movie. Now, I said there was a lot of beautiful locations and how it was the island looked beautiful, and there was some great shots in the movie with that. However, there's also a lot of green screen, and I didn't always think it even needed to have the green screen, but they did. So, I just there's some moments, and you can tell like the actors are looking up at nothing, and it's really bad. There's some really bad moments in there. Uh, I have a little nitpick. There's a lot of humor in the movie. I would say maybe 60% of it, 50, 60% of it works or doesn't work. And the other does work. I didn't hate it. It worked. I chuckled. I didn't. They wanted me to actually full on laugh, and I was not laughing. I was just chuckling a little bit. So the humor is fine. In the end, though, guys, this is a monster movie. I don't care about the characters. I don't care about, I mean, I wish the characters were stronger, but I didn't care. It's a monster movie, and unlike Godzilla, where we had characters that weren't 100% developed, the Godzilla characters developed a heck of a lot more than these are. But in Godzilla, the problem was we just got Godzilla right at the end. Here we get Kong throughout. It's sprinkled throughout. The characters are good enough that I was interested enough. I think part of it is due to the fact that they are amazing actors. I mean, Brie Larson's literally an Academy Award-winning actress. So I think that really helped. In the end, guys, this is a fun movie. Not a great movie. It's fine. It's a fun monster movie. That's what I can say about it. In the end, guys, I'd give this movie a 6 out of 10. So, guys, what did you think? Have you seen Kong Skull Island? Let me know down below. Subscribe, like, share, all that fun stuff. Sorry this is a little late. I'm going to have a couple other videos up this week. One on a rant on people who go to the movie theater for the wrong reasons. That should be fun. And I'm also going to have a spoilers review of La La Land because I've seen this movie 8 times and I just want to discuss this movie in full detail. So guys, again, do all that fun stuff. We'll see you soon.